Hi, it's Canterbury Trails Farm, and today, because it's winter and I have a lot of indoor things that I get to do in the winter because I'm not doing gardens and canning and all that stuff right now, I thought I had several people ask. I've mentioned things over the years about all my dollhouses. I have 3 different dollhouses, and this one is I'm going to show you my 1947 Keystone of Boston wood dollhouse, and this is a 1/12 scale. And if you don't know what 1/12 scale means, it means that 1 inch equals 12 inches in real life. So I'm going to try to do this filming and holding at the same time. I'm trying to adjust the light so you can see what's going on. And the house is really awesome, and it actually has like a lazy Susan underneath of it, but I don't have a place that is large enough for it to 360, so I don't have that set up. I actually sort of lifted it up so it won't move. But I'll show you, I'll put pictures in here of the actual outside. And I did have to do some restoration. This is this house is it's a wood, very solid wood, and a early press board sort of situation, and it's all screwed together and it's painted. And when I got it, it had like paint splotches all over it, and so I had to some restoration. I had to really mix colors forever trying to here's the, you can see the Keystone of Boston there, to try to get the, because it's faded, so I had to try to, you can see some of my failed attempts and some of the better attempts to match the paint, to just cover up the paint splotches. And it happened to, I think it was like blue, unfortunately. When I got it, it was missing the chimney. There is a seller on Etsy who makes the wood parts for the Keystone of Boston dollhouses. There were about, I want to say, 8 models. There were some variations on them, and they also did a 1/16. The common pieces that you'll find missing are the chimney, spiral staircase, and then in some cases, I think a couple models actually have a straight staircase, and then that piece of paper back there is usually missing, and I actually found that online. Someone had traced it and just did a PDF, and so I just printed that out. And then the other thing that's usually missing, and I have mine, there was a lithograph of a fireplace, and mine was missing. And so what I did is I found somebody else's online, and I tried to take a picture of it, and then I just actually ordered the picture and glued it in there. You tried all kinds of things when you're doing dollhouses. Anyway, I couldn't get the scale right any other way, so I did like a life-size copy of the person's picture, and then I ordered the picture off of Shutterfly, and so there it is. It's not exactly. I also have around the bottom will be a cardboard printed bricks, and it's like a fire hearth, and I've taken mine out. It was mostly intact, and I was going to scan it, and then my husband's really good in Photoshop, and have him reconstruct the whole thing so it's a nice rectangle again, and then I was going to print off 2 to go on the ground, but I haven't done that yet. Before anyone freaks out, under the wallpaper in these rooms are the original print. I don't want to say they're lithographs, because lithographs is usually on paper. They have actual scenes like wallpaper, and on one of them is a kid's room and has like sailboats on the wall, and they're actually printed or painted on the press board, and so it's cute. I was striving for more realism, and they were more cartoony, so these wallpapers are just held up by glue dots, so they just peel right off. So I didn't, ruin the original. At any point, all of this could be peeled right off, and it would be right back to normal. Before we go into looking at everything neat, let me just tell you about some of the supplies. These are all pictures of antique rugs, and you can go to like a used bookstore and find their actual like picture books of Oriental rugs, or I've seen Indian rugs, Middle Eastern rugs, Asian rugs, and they're usually awesome pictures. You can also, if you're really lucky, you can find rug catalogs or auction catalogs, and they are Usually, because they're the way they're either 8.5 by 11 or a little bit bigger, sometimes 9 by 12 catalogs. So the scale is perfect. You just cut them out. This, and when I do my other video on my other 1/12 dollhouse, this was you can find these antique stores and thrift stores. I actually got this at a thrift store. I think it was $1.99. It was just an evening bag. I took it apart and I had two sides, and it made a perfect little rug. Get Dollhouse, their papers. That's all this is just paper, and it's just glue sticked down, so again it will just lift right up. And for the kitchen, so because it's a Victorian. So let's look first of all the bones of the dollhouse. So the dollhouse and most of the Keystone Boston dollhouses have the similar layout where you have a closet in the middle, and there'll be like a I believe it was a cardboard box. When I got mine, it was missing, so I had to make my own. And the original ones I saw were a lot more shallow, but I wanted to actually make a closet because my wee Patsies live in this house. And the Keystone of Boston houses have the same floor plans. There's different models. There's a Cape Cod. There's more of a colonial style. This red door that is down here is not original to the house. It was a replacement. The door would have been white, the same sort of cream color as the wood, but the door looked really cute. I didn't want to, it has like little spring-loaded sort of little pegs in there. I just didn't want to mess with it. And the red looked really cute with the decor that I put in it. So I just left it. I did add, there's a little crystal doorknob on there just because I love crystal doorknobs. I have some lights. Let me turn off this. And you can see, the only room I don't seem to have lights on is the living room. But I have a light in the kitchen. I have a chandelier in the dining room. I have a little light, which I think got left on around Christmas, so it's getting a little dim, in the bedroom. I used to have one back there, but I don't know what happened to it. I have bathroom. So this one I really, really wanted. It was really expensive, and so I had to wait for them to have a sale, and then I also had to wait for a coupon. Chandelier. I just wanted that. That's what I wanted. Sometimes in the doll world, when you want something really bad, you find ways to get it, and sometimes you have to wait a couple years. And nothing else would do. That's the look I wanted. So nothing was there for a while. Because of that, I have this one up here. This fireplace is, I believe it goes to like a Fisher Price or something kind of dollhouse, and it actually lights up and flickers. It's really, really cool. But I got that at a garage sale, and so I just sort of stuck it in there. But the furniture in this room is 1960s Petite. It's by Ideal, and it was Petite Fairy Princess. Petite. It came in the pink satin, blue satin, I believe like a butterscotch yellow, and maybe a mint green. Not for sure on the mint green. I really love the bedroom set. So I'll try to point it out. I'm really struggling with the lighting situation here. I don't want it to be so bright it's blinding. Okay, this is the set. It's like the one thing I don't like about it, and I wouldn't have liked about it if I was a kid. The bed is basically just like a covered box, but it's really pretty. But the dresser actually opens, and I have clothes in there. And this little tapestry chair is also the Petite Princess line, and the vanity is the Petite Princess line. The little phone, which I'm missing, it goes with the vanity. The stuff on the vanity, I have a little tiny Cupie that I can't remember who made it for me, but I used to be in a Bluette sewing group, and we would do little exchanges every month, and I think I have 3 of those. They're itty bitty. They're so cute. I have a little bluebird and the standard little pewter vanity tray, serving tray. I got that at a doll show back in like 93, 92. And then just these little charms, scissors and comb. I got those off of Amazon. The little night table back there is actually a 1930s wood Strombecker. The drawers do not open on that. It's like solid piece, but it's a cute piece. I have a lot of the Strombecker in both the dollhouse. The curtains I just made out of, I think it just has a cardboard strip on it for the rod, and it's just various bits of antique lace that I had. and that I didn't have enough for anything else, and I made the valance out of it and made the little curtains. And the great thing about the Keystone houses are they have neat windows. No, as far as I know, they don't come with plastic or anything, and they're just like frames on the windows. Left is a little metal castle from Mexico, and on the right, little statue made out of corn husk and twigs that is like the whole size of it is like a quarter basically, of two little old men walking with canes. I think it was made in Japan. This luscious, wonderful creation here. This is probably from the early 1900s. It is inlaid. It doesn't do it justice because this light is way too bright. Let's see. There you can see it. Inlaid mother of pearl and different shell. And it has a very iridescent look to it. I'm trying to get it so you can see it. It's a lot of blues and greens. Anyway, it's really pretty. Looks like green socks, knitted socks. Okay, now we'll go to the bathroom. So one of my only gripes about the Keystone Boston houses is they put the closet in the bathroom. So if you really want to use the doll closet, you have to take out all your bathroom furniture to get to the doll thing. For a while I had a different set of bathroom furniture and I didn't have a tub. I just had the commode and the sink, and I was able to leave one side of the closet open so you could see the clothes, but into the closet. Oh, this is another secret of mine in all of my dollhouses. So you'll find crocheted bits here and there that sometimes they were going to be made into things or sewed on to clothes. And I buy those because they look like rugs. And so that's a perfect size for my little bathroom rug. Toilet doesn't open. There are some Stromberger ones that open. Stromberger is a real... I have a love-hate relationship with them. Some of there's to scale situation. So you'll get a piece and there'll be like one thing in it that will be totally off. It'd be too small. And that's the problem with a lot of their bathroom sets. You get the toilet and the toilet is like, what is this? You know, this isn't the right size. But the rest of it is. And it's just a pain. But this set is really hard to find with this sort of raised up separate tank. Usually they're like all one piece. This is an earlier one. And it was really hard to find. Toilet paper roll. It's just darling. It actually has toilet paper on it, but let's get in here. So in here, I actually have clothes that I have sewn. That's what's in there. All right, we'll leave the bathroom and we'll go to Patsy's room. And this is one of my favorite rooms. I have in here 1930s wood Stromberger furniture. There's a petite princess set of brocade wingback chairs. And there's a Asian, Japanese, I think it's supposed to be like a little jewelry box. It might be dollhouse furniture, I'm not sure. A little like wardrobe. The thing I have is the little vanity. And most of the Stromberger stuff, you'll find the drawers don't open. They're just like sort of engraved or embossed or whatever. And sometimes there's little metal nail head type pulls, but nothing really opens. And this one has an actual mirror. And this little pin set here, actually on my homecoming mum, when I was a senior in high school, it was hooked to a ribbon. I was the editor of the paper. Little penny doll. She's a little Victorian antique one. And then there's... This is actually one of the earlier Stromberger sets that does have opening drawers. These are really rare to find, and they'll have like 2 drawers in one. I don't think I have anything in them. This is really fun. So this was, it says Flower Talk, and it's like a accordion scrapbook. And you see it has these neat little end paper. And what I did is when you get pictures from Shutterfly, they always send this one sheet that has all your pictures on it in miniature. And I cut them all out various ones, and I glued them in here. So I actually have pictures of my kids in here. It's on this bed, and my other dollhouse is the same way, not on the Petite Princess. But I made all of the linens. Not this one. This came with a lot of late 1890s fashion, French fashion doll things I got. So did this one. But I made all of the linens. I have little bedspread and little pillows, a quilt. Interesting story about this quilt print. When I was in 3rd grade, my best friend at the time's grandmother took us to a craft fair, and she bought us things for our Jenny dolls, the 1978 Jenny dolls, the skinny Jennies, and it had this exact quilt print, and ever since, I still have it with my Jennies, but not this one, with the same fabric. I was just absolutely taken with this fabric all those years later, and on eBay I found a whole yard of it, and of course I bought it, and I've made, in honor of my Jennies and my best friend Diana's grandma buying me that Jenny linens, made a bunch of quilts for all my dollhouses. I have little sheets and fitted sheet and the dust ruffle. Made the little bedspread out of a tea towel. Other people see tea towels, handkerchiefs. I see dollhouse linens and doll clothes. It's fabric to me. There's a Strombecker radio, and I have another one, a neater one, down in the living room we'll look at. Curtains are cute. I really had fun making those with the little trim on it and the valance. So let's go down to the kitchen. So the kitchen started this instant coffee little ceramic stove. It opens up somewhere. I think the whole lid comes off and you can put coffee in there. It was the perfect size for the kitchen. So that's what we started with. I found this. It's actually cast iron with enamel over it, just like a real sink. It was a salesman sample, little miniature sink. It didn't have any faucets, just holes. You could tell like it was rusted in the back, like maybe they had screwed in originally. Anyway, I had to find some. It was hard to find the ones I needed, but I finally found them and glued them in. This is this little doghouse. I have one on each one because I have two because it's salt and pepper shakers, but it was like from the 20s, a little doghouse. It was cute. I love this picture. Came in one of those like scrapbook sets of things to make scrapbooks, but it was perfect, I thought. These little, I love the little utensil set. Got that at an antique store. And then of course the little scrub board. Box here. It opens. I don't think the China hutch, which is really fun because I got all kinds of stuff on there. And I know the little pink mixer isn't really the right time period, but I couldn't resist. And I have little dishes and wire wisp and cookbooks. Oh, but it's full of silverware if I get it out. These are each about an inch long. Not even really an inch. Half an inch maybe. Underneath is actually the drain pipe. And then neat shows where it goes into the wall. Dining room. It has the built-in fireplace. Son Doug said. And then the china is actually from China when I went to China. And I have a lot of petite. The gold chair is petite, ideal petite princess. The sideboard or buffet back there is petite princess. The candlestick back there. In this planter in the fireplace. Wonderful staircase that is like a half spiral. And it really goes all the way up and it comes out in the pink petite princess bedroom, but it comes out behind that closet. But I have a chair there, so. I have this wonderful, the petite princess china cupboard. All these doors and drawers actually open. This one actually has like plastic that seems like glass in it. It opens up. A set of dishes that I got when I was in China. And then one of my favorite things is that teapot that looks like, but it's a teapot that looks like a little cottage. I have a set that's similar to this that when I was fifth or sixth grade, my grandmother had this big china cupboard full of everything. I mean, everything you can think of. She liked antiques, and basically she opened it up and told me to pick some. I picked this. It was an antique, and it's a thatched roof cottage teapot and the sugar and creamer, and it's like life size. But so this little one, when I found it, it was like it needs to go in the cupboard because everyone needs to have one because that's my childhood memories. And the drawers have more little dishes and napkins. And it's like a velvet flocked paper is on these sets. Which to me looks very like the Victorian. They were the very Asian influences there. There's the gold chair, and actually the gold set of the Petite Princess has like metal legs. I'm just trying to the rooms could be a little bigger, but you know, maybe not everybody's dolls don't have the hoarding problem that my dolls have. Maybe. Okay. All right. So that just leaves the living room. And I've got some new surprises in the living room. Obviously, I have things pushed up all the way against the door, which you wouldn't do if you were in real life, and against the stairway back there. And you can see how, let me see, how awesome the house is designed, because you can see the staircase there. It comes out in the living room, down in the living room, the spiral. In the back there, you'll see it's a Petite Princess by Ideal grandfather clock. The wood furniture, the brown, which I really love, is an early Strombecker set. These are flocked. These are flocked wood. So they're carved from wood and then they're flocked. I have the complete green set. It has the chair and the ottoman, and I have a couch and a love seat, but they are up in her attic. And the brown seat is just amazing. And I just love the details on the brown one. But that's the only one I have. They're incredibly hard to find. They're the earlier ones, just like the opening drawer model of the dresser. Just really early. And what I love about it so much is it looks been actually used and worn. I made the little pillow. And it feels real homey in there. And in the back there's a floor lamp. It's a Strombecker. I buy actual photographs at antique stores and that are small and right to scale, and I frame them, and that's what you're looking at. This woman with her dog, I believe. And the mirror is Petite Princess, and it came with, let me move. The fireplace is a Petite Princess model. It's really neat and ornate. It looks like it's marble, and the mirror came with it. The candelabras were separate. They're just modern. The little armor up there is Henry VIII. I got that at the Tower of London in England. The little clock, mantle clock, is wood, and it is Strombecker. And my magnificent Strombecker radio, I just adore this radio, was actually a Christmas present one year. Not easy to find at all. It's like carved out of wood. There you go, Strombecker Stonebecker Playthings, genuine walnut, made in the USA. Really amazing. The dial, I just love the dial on it. Anyway, I just love that piece. So that to me was like one of the premier pieces in here. Just the little modern dollhouse books that are in there. A little vintage Webster's Dictionary that actually has pages, and of course a dog. Some little Limoges slippers back. So for Christmas this year, I got all the boys one of these in their stocking. My husband's everyone's a big Batman. The 60s Batman with the blue suit. And then Trek, so Star Trek. So I bought one for my husband, and then I found the other one, and anyway, it went back and forth, but anyway, I ended up with one of them because we had an extra one. And I really wish someone would make this in a 1940s TV, but for right now, we have a 1960s in here. But so we have Star Trek on the whole TV. And it actually has like little shows. But it's pretty awesome. And it has a remote control. I just would love that. Like I can just see it like in the the bubble kind of screen would look so awesome. So if you're out there, guys that make this TV that I don't remember who you are, we really need, Dollhouse World really needs 1940s, the bubble ones, even maybe the ones with the cool record player hooked on, the little ones that open up, maybe from like the 40s, 47 or something. But the bubble one would be awesome, the skinny type, you know, that looks like the whole console and everything. Yeah, that would be awesome with whatever, I don't know. Honeymooners is probably early 50s, wasn't it? I don't know, that's way before my time, but something old. Anyway, we need that. We need that in our doll houses. Please make that thing. So this is the 1947 Keystone of Boston dollhouse. I really adore this house, and I'm always finding little things to put in it and make for it, and it's just a lot of fun. Thanks for joining us. Bye.